was
Well,
cool.
thanks. Come here, Nico. Nico was walking on the thing right as I was pushing the button, so it kind of was crazy, guys. But thank you for joining us on Craft Ed this week. And we have the amazing Skipper. Rico is taking the night off. He's not feeling so hot. So hopefully it's small. And here comes the star. Come on. Keep walking. Yep. Come on, please. Okay.
The real
Sorry,
reason
guys.
why people watch is because of Nico. Okay?
I know.
That's all there is to it.
It's true. But tonight I've got a kind of a weird craft I'm gonna do. It's gonna be another weird art thing. But Skipper, did you know about a brand new show that's gonna be starting up on the fish tubes?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
It's starring Whip from Whip's World, and he's pretty amazing.
Well, I got a question. I hope he starts his theme song out. Whip's World. That'd be awesome.
Well, nuts, because here it is. There we go.
Hey, everybody.
No, I just made that intro for Whip, but everybody knows who Whip is. But tomorrow, he is starting his very first live stream ever at 10 Central, 9
11
Eastern. And what time is that? And right now he's butchering a cow, I think. Where are you?
I'm in the fish room. I'm doing a little tank maintenance right there.
Oh my gosh. It looked like you were like in a barn.
That's the ceiling.
That's a plant. And a plant right there. I thought that was like garbage bags or something for the the part that you pull out of the cow. Wow.
Yep, I had to go kill old Bessie.
It's awesome to have you, Whip.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, are you excited about your show tomorrow?
I am nervous as hell.
Oh.
You know, I'm not as personable as you and Skip. You know, I have to figure out how to be personable.
Well, people like to be scared too.
Yeah, they do.
so it works. I'm just messing with you. Whip is an amazing person.
What was the times again, Whip, that you're doing?
It's I'm going to lead into John's morning show, so it's 10 to 11 my time, 11 to 12 yours. So 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and whatever the hell it is out Western. 8, I think, maybe.
Yeah. Well, let's see. It'd be I guess 8 Pacific.
It would be.
I had a strange dream about Dr. Anthony last night. I'll have to tell you guys all about it a little later into the stream while I'm going. Skipper was in it too.
Skipper and Dr. Anthony.
Yep. Well, the whole D&D crew is there, but I didn't see you, Whip.
Yeah, I'm easily missed.
Sorry. Well, you probably took off before I could see you. But nevertheless, we'll talk about that later. Skipper, do you want to say hi to people while I get my project geared up?
Well, yeah, I'm going to do that, but first I'm going to start out with a membership. Was that notification chat thing or whatever you want to call it from Peplin's Creek Aquatics. I've been a member of your channel for 18 months. It says Ed, Skipper, Whip, good evening. I'm going to be going on. There is 61 people in here, so I'm going to be going off the participants list. So chime on in. All right, we got Craig's Catfish Cave. We got 3G, Aqua Gardens Inn, Benjamin Peters, Boots Cats, Caprice P, Dennis Christensen, Dee Dee Fenden, FishFam.link, Jeff Kane, Well, let's see here. John McKenzie, Curl Kitty, Larry D, Leslie Perry, Liquid Zoo, Matilda's here,
Not Matilda.
Matilda Robinson.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, hey there. That's my aunt.
Yeah, I was going to say, ain't that who you're supposed to say hi to every time?
Yes, hi, Donna and Uncle Bruce, and
Uncle
my
Bruce.
cousin Laura and her son are coming to visit me tomorrow. So I don't know if they've already left or not.
Oh.
Harley told my mom he'd be here at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, we also got the Nancy B, not from, but in Tennessee, Nathan Have, Night Owl Aquatics. Oh, I got to send you a message. Something happened today, Night Owl. I got to tell you about it. Oink Master Supreme Forever. Actually, I'll talk about it next stream. Paul McCartney, Paul Sotero, Peplin Creek, Sandy Dowdy, Scotty the Fish Freak, Sketty Nonia, Stephen White, Stephen P, Tampa Tom, the Nano Aquarium guy, and Huawei. Quit your yelling, Sam. To all the lurkers out there, hello. And if we missed, I do apologize.
You know what? Well, Huawei's here. He does such a good job as a mod. I'd like to snag him up if he doesn't mind.
Oh, he don't care. While you're doing that, we got another membership milestone chat from Dee Dee Finden. 19 months as your member. Over a year and a half already. Time sure flies. It definitely does.
It does. That's awesome. Thank you, Dee Dee. You're so cool. Oh, Dee Dee, did you get my email? I never got a response. I don't think. Dee Dee won the $50 gift card, or one of the $50 gift cards from the Garden of Eden on my Christmas episode. And she wanted to make sure she got it. And, or I wanted to make sure she got it because I forwarded it to her. And I guess she never complained, so I imagine she got it.
We got another membership milestone from Nancy B.
Hey, Nancy.
She's been a member for 13 months. She goes, I have one of these too. Lucky 13. That's right.
Very cool.
Yeah, Nathan, I'm off the next 3 days, so whenever, just hit me up.
Hey, just to settle an in-family argument.
You're right. Everybody else is wrong.
Yeah, this is Tennessee, I believe, is in the South. But apparently, my nephew-in-law's nephew wife, whatever she is. What's your Whip? You're here tonight. What is your nephew's wife to you?
A niece-in-law?
My niece-in-law says that Tennessee isn't part of the South because she's from Texas and she knows. So everybody out there, give a thumbs up for it is part of the South, a thumbs down if you think it isn't part of the South. Because
I already know that answer.
I think everybody, if I would say it wasn't part of the South, I'd probably get kicked out of the state, I think.
It is part of the South.
Me too. Well, I mean, the sweet tea, I think, kind of proves it. Best sweet tea in the world. And they call shopping carts buggies.
Is it above or below the Mason-Dixon?
It's below.
Well,
then it's south. There's not even a question.
Well, and like, if you've heard anybody from Tennessee, they all have Southern accents.
Well, hell, Southern Illinois has Southern accent.
That's true. I lived in Southern Illinois for many years. But, I mean, Missouri does too, but it was a split state. So it's half accepted by the South and half not. Wow, this is going to take a lot of clay tonight.
So south of Mason-Dixon line is it's supposed to be below Pennsylvania. It's saying Maryland, West Virginia, and Kentucky are also part of it.
Okay.
And Delaware, which that don't make no sense.
Well, nobody cares about Delaware. Delaware's so small. Do we have anybody here from Delaware?
Yeah, there's a very weird people come from there.
I don't think people that like fish live in Delaware.
They like.
I don't know.
They really
like eating fish.
Well, they really like killifish for some reason.
Oh, killifish. Is Scotty from Delaware?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we know somebody from Delaware.
That's why I was saying
this is terrible. But I'm trying to think where Delaware is on the map. Is it like a little square?
It's right beside Maryland.
Okay. Is Delaware up against the ocean?
Yes. Well, no. Yeah. Yeah, it is part of it.
Well, you see, this just proves that I'm living in the South because I'm allowed to make fun of Delaware.
I will say this, that I've been to Delaware, to the Indian River Bay, and if I could afford it, I would have a house on that bay and be on that bay every day.
Ooh. Eating
fishing,
blue crabs?
Yep, fishing, blue crabbing, duck hunting. Like, that's a redneck's delight there.
Oh. Well, that's awesome. You know who's going to become a redneck very soon? Whip.
That's
He's
me.
into his land, and it is beautiful. It's got lots of trees, and it overlooks a valley and a mountain, and like an eagle point or something. I think it is really neat. And right now, he's not for me to talk about him being a redneck, but we're gonna claim him soon. I can't wait.
You're gonna have to take him to redneck school.
Yep, I'm gonna take him to the Nashville Club meetings and the Knoxville Club meetings.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you're going
for about an hour and a half. Didn't we look at that just the other day? About an hour and a half from us, aren't they?
Yeah, from both of them. I mean, you're on the way. Your house is like, you're probably 20 minutes north, because I turn before I go that far north normally, but I could go that far, pick you up, and then go back down 20 minutes. So you'd add like 30 or 40 minutes to the trip. Or I guess we could go to Clarksville and just cut across.
Yeah.
Or not Clarksville, but Cookeville. Pretty cool. So I got this idea to make this fish while I was in Walgreens yesterday.
Well, of all places, Walgreens.
There was a lady in there, and well, first my dad said on the door, he said, "Oh, all the Christmas stuff is 90% off." I was like, "Whoa." So I ran over there, and this lady's there, and we're like grabbing stuff, and she's like, "Can you come up with anything to make with this?" And I was like thinking hard, and I went, "Yep." And then I took it. So right now, this is a pound of clay. I think this is going to be a 2-pound thing. It's going to be one of my biggest sculptures of all time. But it's going to be worth it.
So, Whip,
yes, sir.
Since you are starting your show tomorrow, do you have any ideas on where you're going to go with it, what you're going to do?
Well, as per usual with everything I've done in my life, I waited too long. Or maybe he was doing it before. Yeah, he's probably doing it before I even came up with the idea, but I didn't know him at the time. But you know how like Jason does, just cleans his tanks while he's talking to people? That was my idea, because Saturdays is normally my tank maintenance day. but it takes me an hour and a half to do the 210. So while it's emptying, I'd just be sitting in front of the computer, talking about whatever the chat feels like talking about. I don't have any kind of agenda at this point, other than just kind of talking about what the plans are for my fish room here. But that won't, that'll be a show, and then I can't do that every week. So,
well, you could almost
for an hour talking about. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that just talking about stuff, but I am more of a reactor than an initiator. So like, I'm good at talking to people if they ask me a question or they bring up a subject that I know something about. But for me to just start a conversation, it's a rough go. That's why I've been dragging my heels on doing it in the first place. So that's like I told Rico. I said, if it's a train wreck, and I'll just quit. But if people seem to like it, we'll go from there.
Well, in your fish room, you have arowanas, right?
I have one, yeah, little tiny guy.
Is it your first arowana you've ever had?
No, a second. I inadvertently killed my first one when I did a water change on the very tank I'm working on, and then Mama Bird said, "Time for dinner." So I ran upstairs and I ate, and I never came back down. And when I did come back down, I realized, I'd never turned the tank back on. So poor little fella suffocated.
Wow.
I thought
a year ago, New Year's Day is when that happened. I found him New Year's Day.
Wow. Well, it's an accident. And, maybe if he was in the wild, maybe his little stream he was in could have dried up and he would have died naturally in a dried up stream like that.
Yeah.
But he would have had flies and bugs crawling all over him. So this way, he probably died more peaceful than having flies all over his face.
Maybe. We can pretend anyway, right?
Yep.
I still felt like crap, though.
Did you ever have to worry about
that board right
jumping?
there took a beating.
Did you ever have to take did you worry about him jumping out of your tank?
At first, I did. I talked a lot to John Hudson from KG Tropicals because he had one that jumped, and I just was trying to get a feel for the do's and don'ts, because he did jump on me one time. One time when I was doing a water change, he was still small enough to be in a 55, and the water was down 4 or 5 inches from the gravel. And he just went into this S shape and rocketed right out of the thing. And then so I didn't do water changes for a while just because I was scared he was going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
But then I talked to John. He's like, no, that's. I mean, they're known to be jumpers, but usually if you're in the tank a lot, they kind of get used to you. And that turned out to be the case. It never bit me. Josh, the metalhead Josh, he got tagged pretty bad. I don't know, might have been a year ago already now, but she never bit me. I had no problem. Got up to almost 30 inches long, and yeah, she was taller than my hand, from top fin to bottom fin. It was a bummer.
Yeah,
that would be rough. That's actually same thing happened to me. I didn't lose. I turned the heaters off my whole rack because I didn't want the heaters to, be exposed to the elements while they were on whenever the water level was down below the line.
Right. I
got called away, and I totally forgot because I just got done filling the last tank, and I got called away, and when I got home, I forgot to turn them heaters back on. This was last winter this happened, and I forgot to turn that power strip back on, and Well, I tell you what, though, I check that every time now, though, because I did lose a few fish. I mean, we make mistakes. It happens. We learn from it and move on.
Well, that was the other thing that's one of the reasons I was so mad at myself is because I didn't learn from that. That was the second time I've done that. I did it on my 75 community tank, and I lost 7 electric blue Acara. I lost a 12-inch long fire eel. I had a rainbow shark in there that I swear to you, I have a picture of it. It was 8 inches long. I didn't know they even got that big. Apparently they do.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was a little bit miffed about that. Because and I told myself, okay, that'll never happen again. And I put bubbler, sponge filters in all the tanks on a separate system, just plugged right into the wall. It wasn't into the power strip. But on the arowana tank, there wasn't enough plugs, so I couldn't do that. And of course, that's the one I forgot to turn back on. So I'm like, God dang it.
Well, your wife must be a pretty good cook.
Oh, I didn't get this big by eating salad.
Oh,
that's
my
awesome.
gosh. So you gonna give any hints on what you're making at or what?
It'll probably be pretty obvious once I get it going. But yeah, let's just let the people try to figure it out as I go. I'm using this easy green to make it all smooth.
You what?
It really works. But
Like
this
the
is going to
chemical?
take a lot of work after it's cooked. I'm going to do a lot of work to this thing. But I think it's going to be really neat.
Is it fish related?
Yes.
It's
going to be a fish. It's going to be a fish that goes on the wall.
Oh, okay.
But it is going to be, I think, super cool once I make it.
I was thinking more or less a stingray or something.
Maybe.
Got to be something big.
He's doing a fly river turtle. That's what he's doing. He's doing a fly river turtle.
Have you guys priced those at all? Has anybody priced those?
One time, Predatory Fins was selling them.
Yeah, that's why I never looked, and I was just wondering if they go for. Are they $500, $5,000, $10,000? I mean, what do they even go for?
I'm gonna guess $2,500 to $5,000. That's just my guess. Are you gonna make a guess?
If I had to put money on it, I'd say $5,000.
What would you guess, Skip?
I mean, it depends on how big it's going to be whenever you get it. If it's small, I was going to be in the hundreds, but if it's like the size like he has, then it probably would be almost $1,000 and some dollars. I couldn't see him being. I don't know. We're gonna find.
Well, they were very rare for a long time, so I don't know. And potentially illegal. I didn't they just recently go onto the pet trade market?
I think so. I remember one time Corey saying he had to fill out some paperwork or something, or he was going to have to try to get one someday. But I mean, that may have been 5 or 6 years ago.
He got one. Him and Dean both got one.
So what was your prices again?
I said
5.
I said 25 to 5,000.
Rod and them, they were selling the ones they had for like $2,000. And they weren't real big. But it varies. It depends on, like, there's another one that's selling them anywhere between $475 to $1,100. but it just depends.
They're awfully cute. I got a
Am I
plushie one.
is my
upstairs.
signal in the crapper, or is that you guys?
Well, you seem fine to me.
You
Okay,
seem
because
fine to me, too.
I was getting the spinning circle of death over here.
Well,
So how much were they? Because you cut out right when you said.
Oh, predatory fins are selling them for $2,000.
2?
Yeah,
Young ones.
they were
Little tiny ones, right?
Yeah,
I think it'd be best to get a little tiny one because they're cuter when they're little.
And you don't need a 800-gallon tank at first.
It's one website from 12 to 14 inches is $1,125. If you get it 4 to 6 inches, it's $475. It just depends on where you get them.
What's the care level? Like full grown, what size tank do they need?
A pond.
Is 800 enough?
I don't even know. I'd have to do some investigation. I was just curious to know what they were how expensive they were.
A minimum tank would be 200 gallons.
Oh.
For a full grown, that's way too small.
That's what it's saying.
They're wrong. Do you watch OFR at all? Ohio Fish Rescue?
Not lately.
They've got one. I mean, that thing, where am I at? That thing's got to be at least this big.
Well, I mean, they do get 27 and a half inches long.
So you're going to put that in a 24-inch tank? I don't think so.
No, you're not.
You almost got to put them in a tub or a pool, rather. Get one of those glass see-through tubes or pools.
Well, that's
some kind of
the tanks. Rod has. Am I saying his name right? I feel like I'm not. But anyways,
Rod.
Yeah,
ROD.
The tanks that he had them in, they were full. They were huge. They were big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the New York store, but I went to the one that he had in Boca Raton, and he had just had the one tank delivered from California, and it cracked just a little bit. The acrylic had cracked at the top that they were going to fix, but that thing was, I don't know, 15, 20 feet long, 4 feet deep, front to back, and it was over my head. Whatever it was. So, I mean, it was a big tank.
It's crazy. I mean, they're pretty cool because they have another. Ain't there like an albino one too or something?
They did, but I think they got rid of him when they moved up to New York. They got rid of a lot of their stuff.
Well, they had to. I mean, imagine having to move that from the bottom of the country up to the top. I mean, that would have been a lot.
I think he sold that round pool thing that he had to Paul Cafaro. And I know he did because I've seen it. But he did keep a lot of the big tanks, and he tried to keep some of the big fish, but I don't think a lot of them made it.
Yeah, I thought he had some bad story about the truck drive or the truck going up or something. Wasn't so hot.
Well, I know they kept running into bridges that were too low.
Oh,
I remember that being a thing.
Yeah, I forget. They were having issues. I think that keeping them warm enough was the issue.
That was and he lost. He'd already lost one Arapaima because somebody nuked the tank that they were in, and then the other one died.
I mean, think about it. Like them Arapaimas and stuff that he had, and all them big fish that was in that tank, dude. You would have had to been able to be like an actual aquarium type style moving. of what they, how they move fish, stuff like that.
Right. And they gave it a shot, but it just didn't work. I think the Peroon sharks made it, but they're only like 4 feet only.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while. Fishy Mon says you're making chicken pot pie.
It's pretty darn close. I wanted to throw this out there, guys. If anybody wants to sponsor the PSA of the week, they can, as long as they're a member, and then it's an absolutely free sponsorship. And this week's sponsor is Lando from Fish and Things Lando. Darn it. Am I saying his name right? Lando, are you here? I don't know if Lando's even here. But he has this very important message he wants us all to know.
Oh, hey, Grandma, you stay here just for a second. I'll be right back, okay? Stay there. Grandma.
Thank you, Lando. And I hope that everybody learned not to trust their grandma outside, because you're just going to have problems. So thank you so much, Lando. And it's Lando's it's Fish and Things with Lando. But thank you, buddy. And whoever would like to be this next week's sponsor, all you have to do is text me on Facebook or Instagram, or leave a note in the comments.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Okay. Well,
Whip,
have you ever had any bad situations with your grandma?
What's that now?
Have you ever had any bad situations with your grandmother?
Couple. Where she fell down.
Grandma. Oh no.
Yeah.
But my grandma, we found out that she could read lips really, really well. And she was deaf as a doorknob. And we took her to get her hearing aids. And the lady that gave her the tests was talking to her and us all sitting there. And then she brought her paper up and kept talking, said she doesn't know that I'm still talking, you guys. So Libby, and she couldn't. And then she brought the paper back up, and my grandma was reading the woman's lips so good and never let us know.
Huh.
That's crazy.
So it's better to just get hearing aids and have life be easier.
Have you ever put an hearing aid in your ear?
Huh?
What? Have you ever put a hearing aid in your ear? They're not super comfortable.
Oh, I have not. And I didn't hear what you said. So it was like maybe
I can tell.
So Oinky actually has a fish question.
Yeah.
But first, we gotta give a shout out to Curl. I'm always gonna say Curl Kitty, but it should be Killer Kitty. $5 super. That'd be a sticker. It's the Karate Fox or whatever you want to call it. But Oinky had a question for the three of us, and now I lost it. Oh, there it is. Has any one of us ever had experience with a ghost knife fish? Years ago, I had one, but I was too young and dumb and killed it. And, that's a whole nother story. But I have a gift card for both Dan's Fish and Cunningham Tropicals, and I'm trying to make good decisions.
What do you want to know? I have one right now.
Okay, there you go.
I had one in the 90s.
So, Oinky, Whip is your man right now.
This is an Oinky question?
Yeah.
She's going to need a big tank. Like, they don't move around a whole lot. At least mine don't. but they get 2 feet long, and they're fairly friendly. It's probably not the right word, but they're not super aggressive. I've got mine in with regular community fish, red serpa, tetras, and stuff like that. He doesn't bother with any of those. He's currently about a foot long. Very cool when they come out. Almost never comes out.
Now they eat it at night, right? They're more of a nocturnal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want a fish that looks cool when they come out, but almost never comes out, they're a very cool fish. The way they move. Don't only get one because they are aggressive towards each other.
When they get big, they're awesome, because then they come out all the time. But forever, I hate buying fish that you never see. I think it's why I'm not a huge pleco guy, because so many plecos hide. I don't like fish that hide. It's like, what's the point of feeding a fish and paying for a fish that I'm never going to see?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first fish I ever had to feed frozen food to. And so that was a new experience for me and a new expense that I'd never experienced before. So, yeah, I didn't think it was worth it. They're beautiful. I just didn't think the overall experience was worth it. And that's why I've only had one over the last 30 years.
I thought about getting one again. Me, unfortunately, I was a teenager, and it was the way I cleaned my tanks. I killed a lot of fish then. Didn't know about the the cycle. Only do 25% water changes. Don't do 100% and scrub it. She has 125 gallon. That's her largest tank. Do you find any difficulty with their feedings?
I just dropped bloodworms in. I don't know exactly what they eat, what this one eats, because I feed quite a bit of different. It's a big variety of food that I drop in there. Sinking pellets and flake and stuff for the plecos that he might be chewing on. I've never really seen him eat, so I don't know. The people at the store told me that bloodworms, they love bloodworms, but everybody loves bloodworms. So, brine shrimp, I put the frozen brine shrimp in there. So, but he doesn't come out until the lights are off and everybody's gone. So, I've literally seen him like twice in the last year.
See, I hate that. But yeah. I used to break the brine shrimp or the bloodworms off, put it on a big old long 2-foot pincher, and put it right in front of his PVC cave, and it would eat it, and that would be it. I'd see its face.
Yeah, that's what I think Austin does from Fantastic Freaks, too. He's got 2, and he feeds them with tongs.
Well, I just did that so I wouldn't get my arm all wet, and I didn't want anybody else to eat the food on the way to it.
Yeah, that's probably why he's doing it.
I mean, that makes sense since they like to hide a lot, and technically they probably don't come out at night pretty much to feed. Right? I mean, that's actually a good idea. I like it. I'll have to remember that if I do ever get another one.
Is it, don't you use that for your, you have an image of one on your...
That's Jason's, actually.
Oh.
I would go after a Beischer. You'll see your Beischer more. And
they're out all the time. They do not hide at all.
Yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. I mean, they don't have the big, beautiful fin that looks like a cool knife with the cool spots on it.
Yeah.
But still, their little cool faces are neat. And, like, the ornates were super aggressive, but... we lost... Whip came back. I lost Whip for a second. I don't know. Did you too?
No, yeah. I do. Every now and again, it does that to me.
Yeah, I thought I'd have to pop you back up, but I didn't. So that's cool. But the Deltese and the Cynodal ones are super nice. Well, I shouldn't say super nice because you could always get a mean one. But Sean Peck has one that's like 1.5 foot long, a Cinedol that's pretty fat. He calls him Mr. Tubes, and he lives with his rainbows and his everything in his tank. He's got a 200-gallon tank that he's happy swimming around. But he hides a lot too. He comes out about half the time. So what I do is I try to look at them at the pet store, or if you're ordering it over a line, you just got to go with it. But I try to watch them and see if they're the ones that are outgoing in front or if they're hiding in the back, because they just all have the different attitudes.
Right. So I didn't think the ghost knife got that big. 2 foot on a ghost knife?
Yeah. I think that's what they. What's that?
They might even get bigger. There's a lake. I think it's in Idaho or Oklahoma, or it's in Texas, that has giant ones, and you can catch them like fishing. Okay. Somebody had put them in there, and the whole lake took over with them.
Oh,
are you talking the ghost knife, or are you talking the clown knife?
The clown
you know what?
knife.
That might be a clown knife.
So yeah. the ghost knife, 18 to 20 inches. For some reason I always thought
black
they
with a white tip.
Yeah, I always thought they stayed smaller for some reason.
Yeah, they get pretty big.
Clown knife. I had a clown, not a ghost. I'm sorry.
Yeah, them clown knives, man, they get freaking huge. They're in the monster fish category.
Yeah. Super evasive too.
It doesn't look like much right now, but I'm going to take a Dremel to it.
So you're making a halibut?
Well, I'm going to. Where'd it go? Oh, no.
A dead fish? I don't know what we're going with this.
Where's my thing?
You need to get the voice box out of your singing bass fish and hook it up to it and freak people. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's right, Richard Reynolds. The clown knives down your way are invasive, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of bad down south.
Okay.
These were LED Christmas lights that were 90% off. So they cost me $1.40. I'm going to drill holes through this whole thing and put those, so it's going to be like a puffer fish or a porcupine puffer.
Somebody did. It's funny. Yeah, I might have to look for it if they'll let me get back that far. Somebody did say puffer fish.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and they only had 5 boxes left. I should probably go on Amazon and see if there's a 6th, and then have an orange, a red, a purple, a yellow, a blue, and a green one. I think that would be so cool.
It was Sketty Nona.
Nice.
That old Skitty, she's a smart cookie.
But yeah, I might go. Maybe I'll buy one more from somewhere. Maybe I'll go to a different Walgreens and see if they're probably gone everywhere, 90% off. But I was thinking maybe blue and green, yellow and orange, and purple and red might be kind of a cool combinations, with 2 colors in the fish instead of it being solid. Or it could just be a rainbow colored one, just have all the colors. But I kind of like solid colors more when it comes to weird stuff.
Yeah, unless it's an actual ornament, I think it would make more sense to go all one color.
I tell you, I found a bunch of blue lights at the Lowe's when it was 75% off. And they did their stuff early. It was crazy. I mean, hell, Walmart already had Valentine's Day stuff out the day after Christmas. You did not see a lot of New Year's Eve stuff out.
Lowe's will start selling their Halloween stuff 60% off before Halloween. It's like 3 days before Halloween, and they start selling everything. Oh, so let me tell you a little bit about the dream. We were all down in Peru to go on a river like walk or something. We're supposed to go up the river. Well, almost
And now,
everybody had taken off.
now I know why I wasn't there.
Yeah, I think you took off first. And I know
No,
Skipper took off because I kept saying, where in the heck did Skipper go? But I had Holly was there, and Holly was the only person that they didn't steal her luggage. And I'm like, we're going to be going through the Amazon for a week. You better have brought some good stuff. I had a knife. That was all I had. And she had all these giant pink bags. And then I found a pair of roller skates I brought, and I was like, why did I bring these roller skates? It was weird. But Scotty didn't go, but he gave his ticket to that real mean gatekeeper lady at the Clash. Do you know who I'm talking about? The
Yeah, I know what
gatekeeper?
you're talking about.
She was there, and I was like, why couldn't she left with all those guys? So, yeah. Holly and I and the gatekeeper were trying to catch you guys, and then I woke up because it was too bad of a dream. Nothing personal, killer. Something personal to you, though, gatekeeper. So bizarre.
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't know how long though. And it didn't look like the Amazon jungles. It looked more like the Nile because it was just a desert and a river on it. And I'm like, I wonder if there's crocodiles in there. So, there was this, you could walk on this little path along the top, but there was this guy that was making these big fish out of marble. They were real pretty. And he'd slide them along the path. And you had to like hang on to the side of the path as he walked by. And so I was like, this is going to just be too hard because the path was only this big to keep trying to avoid this guy. So, yeah. That wasn't good.
You could have pushed them off into the river.
I know. Well, that would have been.
You're a big fella.
And Dr. Anthony kept saying, oh, no, I don't walk it. I just fly. I'm like, I want to fly. So weird. But oh, well. So, any other fish questions?
That was the only one I see. Oh. I think we answered it. She had a follow-up question on that, but I think we already answered that.
What was it?
I'm looking for it. Dude, my mind's going 50 miles a gallon. Miles to hour.
Mr. B Wood is so right. Do we have a link for tomorrow's stream for you?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Oh, to me?
Yeah.
On my telephone?
On your telephone.
You know what? I don't have my telephone in here.
I don't know that, because I'm on StreamYard or whatever this is, and I don't know how to do anything on here.
Oh, that's all right. Well, can you put it in private chat? And then what? Do you see private chat?
Yeah.
It's on the far right. It's at the bottom. If you click that, then there's a little chat area. And then what I'll do is I'll copy and paste it. And I think I will be able to do a mod thing. Something that I don't normally do. And while he's doing that, we want everybody to remember Saint Dust. And we're still trying to raise money for his family under their tragic situation, which really sucks. And is Dr. Anthony, is he done with his talk or with his thing, or is he still got another 10%? Or
yeah, it's over with. It was over with the 7th.
Oh, well, that's great. Let's see. Now I'm going to do this.
That link he may be sending you might be the link for you to come up.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a stream.
Yeah, that's what that is true.
I don't want to share that one. But yeah.
Let me see. I might still be able to get.
Well, me and Oinky already got it in chat for you.
Oh, nice. Awesome, you guys.
She was a little quicker. It's in chat, Whip.
Okay.
Oinky and I got it. She beat me to it, though.
And there's something else. I was supposed to be in my fish room today, and it turns out I got this awesome setup from Matt to be able to run internet to my fish room, but I had to get one more thing, and it's supposed to make it work. We tried to get it working yesterday, and it just didn't happen. So it comes in tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully next week I'll be in my fish room. That'd be freaking awesome. And thank you again, Matt. That was super cool of him.
Yeah, I apologize. Sam beat us to it.
Oh yeah. I hired one of the quick kids.
I should be able to show up. See,
Well,
I should be able to show up, at least be in chat. Tomorrow, they're having a sale at a warehouse. And I'm hoping to, I want to go and hopefully get some pretty good deals with stuff that we could use. Or if I can fall into that stuff like I did before and sell it real cheap out to the fish fam like I did with them Powerheads, I may do that. That'd be nice.
That would be cool.
Because it helps everybody. I ain't going to really, I'll make $1 off of each item. That's all I did the last time. After
that's awesome.
Made the truck dump it off, I guess you could say.
That's super cool. What Whip? Where do you like to get your hardscapes and stuff for your fish tanks? Do you ever go out collecting? Because in real life, don't you spend a lot of time outdoors?
I do, but I am what you would call a coward when it comes to that sort of thing. I don't know what will destroy everything in the tank and what will be fine. You know, what woods are good, what woods aren't. I know cedar or conifers in general aren't great, but like walnuts are bad or cherries are bad for horses, but are they bad for, is there something in there that's going to kill all the fish? I don't know. So I just don't do it. Rocks, I do rocks. I'm not afraid to put a rock in there.
Do you do anything to the rocks before you put them in?
I know you're not supposed to, but I boil them. I've never had one explode on me.
Yeah. Well, oh boy, it's been a long time since I did my rock show. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. But I'm pretty sure if you dip a rock in some boiling water, it only takes like 20 seconds to kill any parasites or anything on it.
Right.
And that's not enough time to boil the water that would be inside the rock that could make it explode. So if you just don't boil your rocks for long periods of time, you're okay.
Right.
Or
same with gravel. I once, as a late teen, I stole, quote unquote, stole a bunch of pea gravel from a school playground. I went to the playground and scooped up a bunch of the pea gravel, rinsed it off, and threw it in there. And actually, it did fine. But I was keeping bluegill and stuff like that at the time, so I don't know if that made a difference or not. But they were a little bit hardier than the other fish that I tried keeping back then.
I don't know. I've really rinsed my stuff off really good. Now the wood, depending upon if you're getting it from outside or, I still boil it whenever I get it from, like, say, Petco or something. Because you think about it, if you get my pawnee wood, it's not wrapped up or nothing. It's just out in the elements. So as long as that stuff sits on them shelves there, think of the stuff, the cleaning stuff that they've been, using or whatever. I boil the heck out of it.
Well, and that pulls the tannins out too, so that's good.
Yeah, but that in Pawnee wood, though, it don't matter how long you boil that, you're still going to get tannins for a while. It's crazy. I boiled it for, over an hour or so. Like, I did it on and off, so it wasn't an hour straight. So I did it for like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes altogether. But I was like, daggone, this stuff, man, you can't get rid of it. It really has to age, for it to.
Right. You know what else does that is eucalyptus. I bought a piece of eucalyptus from KG Tropicals, the keep fishing.
Keep
whatever.
fish. Keep fishing.
Whatever it is.
Keep fish.
And I think it's just now, it's been over a year. It just finally quit turning my water to the color of tea.
But I mean, there's benefits to it though, also. So,
I mean, health benefits maybe, but it's ugly. I don't like it. I don't like the look of it. So, although in my tanks it'd probably be better, just because I have so many particulates floating around all the time. Maybe you wouldn't see them so easy.
Camouflage.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep looking at the chat, and my chat is stuck at the very beginning of the show because I never pulled it down. I was like, every time I go over there to see if anybody's saying anything, it hasn't moved. Ha! That doesn't help.
I should have used my computer because I can't even see chat. So I'm relying on you guys. I mean, if I put the chat on, then I can't see you guys.
Oh my gosh. Well, we only have 3 minutes before we move over to the nocturnal feeding. I didn't even we just lost Whip. He's just going straight over to the nocturnal feeding right now because he is excited because Skipper has an amazing show set up for us all, and it's going to be a blast. And thank you to my mods. You guys all rocked it great. And thank you to the super chats and the memberships. I want to try to keep coming up with ideas to do for my members. That's why I thought the PSA might be fun. But I probably should do something at the end where I pop with everybody's name at the end and thank them, because that you guys really do help me out every month. I really appreciate it a lot. But and thank you, Skipper, and we'll catch Whip tomorrow at 10 Central, 11 Eastern, and 8 Pacific. And there's Whip. And I don't know if he's going to mosey over to Skipper's or not. Well,
I was pushing buttons. Serves me right.
Oh, did you want to come over to Skipper's show?
I mean, I can. Is Paulie going to be there? Because, he scares me a little bit.
I don't know if Paulie's going to be there or not.
Just pack your cheese so he doesn't get to it.
just throw your cheese at him. Tell him, here you go, you filthy cheese bag.
And
well, thanks for having me up. I appreciate it.
You bet. I'll see y'all later.